All right, we should be live. We'll just, Helena's just going to do a check on that, but we're
Yep,
pretty sure.
we are live.
Woo, awesome,
Woo.
awesome. We have such a great show for you today. Yeah, we can't wait. We've been doing a little work behind the scenes here. So, my name is Dana J. Smithers. I am one of the two Emotion Code Divas on this show. So, I am actually in a little bit of a business redesign. So, I've been working many years with solopreneurs and working on their business and helping their business grow. In fact, I worked with Helena a lot, and she's got her business growing, and this is how we even got into doing the Emotion Code Divas. But my focus is going to be more on helping women find their life purpose, right? What really makes them happy? What are their fulfillment needs? And also sacred gifts. I'm a certified sacred gifts guide, so I will guide people through the program. We all have 3 to 5 sacred gifts out of the 24, and that's really the direction I'm going, along with, since I'm also a certified law of attraction trainer, using all the tips and tools to help people find that place in life that really makes them happy. So that's just a quick synopsis about me. Helena, why don't you introduce yourself, and then we will pick in. Well, I have an angel card already picked, and I've got somebody special that's joining us today, but you just go ahead.
Excellent. So, good morning, everyone. I'm Helena Jehnichen. I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist as well as a certified emotion code practitioner. In my hypnosis business, I focus in on helping men and women that are that have a smoking addiction. They want to release excess weight, or they have medical anxiety. And I am known as the Stop Smoking Lady because I help people stop smoking in one hypnosis session. And now with the addition of the emotion code, my success rates have just skyrocketed in one session. It's amazing. I've been really blessed to know about the emotion code and learn about it, and now be able to offer it to my clients, either in the office or remotely.
That's great. Yeah, love that. And so we are both certified emotion code practitioners, and we have been trained by Dr. Bradley Nelson. And you can do an emotion code on yourself. You don't need to hire us to do it, although the results will probably be a little bit different. But you can look at his book. He's got tons of information here about case studies. He's got the body code chart is in here. He talks a lot about different ways of doing muscle testing. So you can buy the book, or you can just check him out and become a certified emotion code and or body code practitioner. So that's how we're both trained. So thanks so much for introducing yourself, Helena. So we've started now to pick angel cards, and I've picked from a deck of Doreen Virtue. These are our Archangel cards, and this is Archangel Zadkiel. And the message today is such a perfect one. It's clairaudience. So Helena's going to,
What did
yeah,
I hear?
yeah, clairaudience. So what the message is notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. So part of one of the reasons why Helena and I wanted to do this show is, one, we love the emotion code, and we wanted to let people know about it. We wanted to be able to educate people about what's going on in their life and how the emotion code can help. We also wanted to inspire people and heal and release trapped emotions on the show. So today I have somebody has stepped up. Her name is Chris Kutchnia, and Chris has offered for us, or I'm actually going to do it, work on releasing some brain fog issues with her, and she's given me the stress level and her age. And just before we do that, though, Helena and I are going to go through the 7 keys to emotion code. And Helena's going to be talking about why I've brought in this Archangel Uriel. He's the one that he has a lot of wisdom, a lot of wise counsel for us. he sparks and ignites ideas in us to get moving forward. And as I'm working towards this new website and new vision that I have for my business, it's this brain fog that stops the creativity, right? And there is a trapped emotion called creative insecurity. So he's going to be with us today. But Helena, let's just go over the 7 steps for the show today, and just in case we have some new viewers. And actually, I should just see
Who do we have
say.
here? Sylvia Bellini is in from London. She's watching us.
Excellent. Hi, Sylvia. Yeah, she was watching on, I did a little preview, which I do just before my show as well. Yeah, I'm just going to get to that. Yeah, great. Great. So Chris is on. Oh, raining in London. It had been raining. It's sunny now. Same here. Same here, Sylvia. That's what's happening here. So the first thing that we need is permission. So what does this mean, Helena? Permission. Why do we need that?
We need permission because we just can't work on anyone that we just see on the street, or we're seeing someone having a hard time. The agreement is with our subconscious mind and their subconscious mind that we need their permission, either verbal or written permission, before we can actually do the emotion code work. The great thing is though an adult mother or father can give permission on behalf of a minor child and or their pet.
Yeah, so sometimes I know this has happened to Helena as well. We might be in a store, and unfortunately we see a child acting out, and the mother or father just beside themselves of what to do. And we know that the mother and father are madly in love with their children, but when the children, there's everything at the checkout counter that a kid can go for, right? The candy, like it's low enough too that it doesn't matter what age they are. So, sometimes you just want to be able to do something, but without their permission, we can't. But we can do a silent prayer for them. So I will often do that and send some light around them and hope that shifts their energy. But without that permission, we can't do it. And so we also, if we're not with them, if they're not physically in our space, then Helena, we have to use what's called a proxy. Yeah. So how does that work, and what does that look like?
The proxy is your permission for us to ask your subconscious mind directly. It's like if you go to an annual general meeting and you can't attend, you assign your vote over to someone else. That's
right. So you've already given that. This is what they're okay with you going ahead and voting. In our case, it's tapping into the subconscious. So there's a question that we asked them, and I know Chris is very good. She must have watched our shows or know the emotion code. I'm going to be working on her later. She's saying that she's a 9. What does a 9 mean? Is that?
Well, a 9 means we ask our clients for a severity rating between 1 and 10. That way we want to know that it's something significant, 7, 8, 9, or 10. If people come to us and say, well, the issue's kind of like a 2, doesn't have strong enough emotion around that for us to work on. But what's really interesting is when we ask the subconscious mind, their subconscious mind, to confirm the severity number, either it might be a little higher or a little lower, but often it's higher.
Yeah, exactly. And I had that experience this weekend. I did a workshop and I did emotion code at the session with the gals that were there. And one of them said, oh, her back pain was about a 4. I thought, So I tested it and it came out to between an 8 and a 9. Because you can't often know, if you don't do this work, you don't really understand the severity of something. So once we know that, what are we going to do next, Helena?
Well, we're going to use a technique called muscle testing to tap into the subconscious mind to get yes or no answers. And those are the only questions that we can ask, is yes or no questions of the subconscious mind in this particular case. So my muscle testing looks like this because the work is distance healing, again, over video or even in person. I'll just ask for their proxy and test myself. So my muscle testing looks like this. I link the 2 fingers together like this into a circle, And I have an agreement that when I think of the word yes or get the word answer yes, my fingers lock together when I try and pull them apart. And the answer, if it answers no, they just slip apart. So yes and no.
And my muscle testing's a bit different. Dr. Brad has a lot in his book. You could go to a lot of YouTube channels and just see what type of muscle testing is. But I just found that at first I couldn't do it, but I just practice and practice and practice, and all of a sudden you just get it. So I do mine this way. My index and my thumb are together. I just take my two fingers from the opposite hand and very gently. You don't have to put a lot of pressure. That's a yes for me, and that's a no. And I was just sharing this in my earlier video, pre-show video, Helena, that I've now got two moms that are asking me if their son's going to get married this summer and if the bride is going to be suitable. So I just keep telling them we're intuitive and we can tap into the subconscious. But I mean, some people may have the sacred gift of sensitivity that are doing emotion code, but Helena and I don't. We just start tapping into the subconscious and working our way through that. So what's the next thing that we have to do, Helena?
The next thing that we have to do is, now that we've got our muscle testing and we're going to ask a question, are there any trapped emotions that once released will allow us to X? In this case, it will be about brain fog. We have this emotion code chart that Dr. Bradley Nelson has created, and it's got 60 different negative emotions on there. He's put it into 2 columns, A and B, and into 6 rows. So we can ask the question very quickly, is the trapped emotion in column A or B? Is it in an odd row or an even row? And then quickly we come to a single cell of 5 emotions, and then we can ask individually about those 5 emotions and then do our release work. Yeah. So that's the emotion code chart, and it's fantastic. Now, sometimes we might find that there are, in a session, we might come up with the same emotion a second time, but the question will have been different. So Dr. Bradley Nelson talks about that most adults have about 650 trapped emotions in their body. And actually, Dan, I don't think we actually talked about the idea of these trapped emotions and where they're located. Yeah. So
Enter the lemon.
I've got my lemon. So this is a representation of a ball of negative energy. And what happens is when we have an unprocessed negative emotion at some time in our life, it just gets kind of stuffed into our physical body, into our physical energetic body. And what is amazing is when you start to put in all these unprocessed trapped emotions, your body can start to feel kind of heavy, blocked, achy, pain, and different things like that. And what's amazing is when we ask the question and we find the trapped emotion, it actually pops out energetically from the physical body into our energetic body outside of us. And then what we're going to do, it's the next step, Dana.
Is release it.
Is release it. And how do we release it? But with a magnet. These are my magnets. And what we do is to release it, because now the energy of that negative emotion is in this energetic body outside of us. We're going to use some acupuncture points that they use in Chinese medicine, which is here starting at the governing meridian, which goes all the way down to the tailbone. And we use this swiping motion. Mm-hmm. Magnets are pure energy, and what they do are cancel out negative energy. Kind of like a credit, when you take a magnet to your credit card, wipes all the information away. You'll see us doing this 3 times if it's a trapped emotion, and 10 times if it's an inherited trapped emotion. Yes.
Yeah. And so the last thing that we need to be doing is,
hang on.
I'm going to take a sip right now.
Is water, hydrated practitioner. Water allows our brain and our body to function optimally. It creates the ability for energy to move through water rapidly. We know that electricity moves through water very, very fast. So to get accurate muscle testing answers, we hydrate ourselves. The first thing that we do, we will actually muscle test to make sure that we are hydrated.
Perfect. So just before we go into, you've got some information about why this brain fog is happening, and we all know that it's not just menopause brain fog, right? In fact, on my pre-show that I did, I was talking about it, and I know some people call it brain fog or brain farts. Sorry, brain farts.
Oh,
That's not my words, but Sylvia Bellini typed in no or senior moments, right? So yeah, that was just kind of funny. But we all have those moments, right? Where you're sitting down, you think, oh yeah, I'm going to go do that. You walk into the other room. I find myself like, okay, I end up doing something else. I come back and I went for my glasses and I didn't get them, right? So one or two, I mean, it's good because it gets me up from my desk. I mean, this is good, right? But I just go, oh, whatever. So just before we start the educational piece that you have, Helena, I'm just going to say hello to a few people here.
I have a friend watching, and her name is Inez Simpson. Inez Simpson is a world-class hypnotist and trainer.
Wow.
She actually has developed an amazing protocol called the Simpson Protocol, and it is a protocol that allows the person to go into a deep state of hypnosis, very, very deep state, where we're actually able to access super consciousness. And we use muscle movements or finger movements to have the person communicate the yes or no, and when they've done the work, it is an amazing process.
I actually watched a video that you had on your Flourish Hypnosis site. That's the first time I learned about that, and I thought, oh, that's very similar to Emotion Code, right? Tapping into that subconscious, and I like just that finger movement, right?
Yeah. What's amazing with the Simpson protocol is that it goes even deeper, and we pull into super consciousness, where the super conscious will do work on many, many, many different levels, physical levels, mental levels, spiritual, all this different healing, and it's rapid. The work out there, the possibilities for people to heal themselves is amazing.
Yeah. So I just, Kelly Carson, I worked on her last week, and she said that I cleared her need for sugar. I have to say that instantly the craving was gone. Thanks, Dan, I felt like I had no control before over my craving. So I know Sylvia Bellini is watching. Big shout out to her. We've got Misty Anderson, Alaska Misty watching. Thanks, Misty. Leslie Marshall. Oftentimes we end up getting weather reports too, which is good. Sylvia said it had been raining, but now it's sunny, cloudy in Oregon, and Bethany Ridewood says, good morning, and it's sunny. So, so thanks so much for that. And we are actually going to get started on the show. So I have, I'm just going to unplug my earbuds in a minute. So I have permission to work on Chris, so I'm going to work on her brain fog. And I will just see what emotions come up for her. And Helena, you can go ahead on that really interesting information that you have for the show today.
Right. So tying in today to the card that Dana pulled, the angel card, the clairaudience, when we have blockages in our emotions, when people are stressed, worried, anxious, depressed, feeling powerless, all those heavy negative emotions, our conscious mind and subconscious mind are not communicating very well together. Our subconscious mind, it's the, got my little picture here of the iceberg, and the iceberg represents the conscious, the little bit that we see up here, and the subconscious mind. Now, the subconscious part of the mind is actually what's in charge of our automatic behaviors. It's the domain of our emotions. It's where our imagination our dreams and our memories lie. It's also responsible for automatic behaviors such as your blood pumping and your heart beating and your breathing. And um, it's the part that really is in charge. But we have our conscious mind that gets in the way sometimes. But the conscious mind's job is to be logical, to be analytical, to be is the protector. So when the two minds are not able to communicate, the conscious mind doesn't get the information from the subconscious mind when we put barriers such as worry and stress and depression and fears and things like that. So as the angel card suggests, that the information that we're wanting and the answers that we're wanting are all there, but we can't hear them because there's some things in the way. So one of the most important things to do is to relax. Take a nice deep breath. So everyone just right now, just take a nice deep breath. Hold and release. The breath is the number one key to creating calm in the physical body and in the mental body. And when we now are able to relax a little more on the physical level, the other thing that hinders the ability for our body to get clear communication is inflammation. Inflammation in the body. And so how do we get rid of inflammation in the body? Well, Callie Carson, you did the number one thing that will help release inflammation in the body and create clear thinking is by removing sugar from the diet. The sugar, the carbohydrates are going to create inflammation in the body and often creating different yeast in the body that are going to create that idea of brain fog. Now, why do people go to sugar? Because sometimes it makes us feel good temporarily, and then we feel bad, and then we have some more sugar and we feel better. So it's this roller coaster ride of up and down, artificially stimulating ourselves to feeling better. So by removing sugar from the diet, it allows the body to heal and remove the brain fog. Now, by using the emotion code to release the trapped emotions of anxiety and fears and phobias and worry and stress and different things, you're just going to be able to hear your answers better. Your subconscious mind is going to be able to communicate with your conscious mind. You'll be able to tap into the wisdom from our guides and our angels, from our spirit, from our higher self, from super consciousness, and allow the ideas to flow. But it all starts with the breath. Hold and release. What I love about being a hypnotherapist is that I get to teach people the idea of self-hypnosis. And self-hypnosis is, what it is creating relaxation and imagination and bringing the two together to bring those ideas to clarity, to bring those ideas to focus, and also when we relax enough and we're using our imagination to think about what we want in life, to even create what we want in life in our imagination, our subconscious mind can help us to create that in reality. So, releasing the trapped emotions that are hindering the clarity, hindering the ability to tap into that clear audience from our angels and our guides is all key. Now, I've got something else right here. Where is it? Oh, it's a book down there. But the other thing I love to use is essential oils. Essential oils, good, high-quality essential oils, pure essential therapeutic oils, have the ability to go into the brain and make changes in the brain. So essential oils like clary sage, great for balancing the hormones, perfect for the menopausal brain fog, but it also creates a sense of calm. The different oils such as lavender, the classic lavender, even lemon and bergamot are very good for creating clarity and calmness, and they all work on the brain. It's amazing between your nutrition, your essential oils, by breathing, relaxing, tapping into your imagination, and releasing trapped negative emotions with the emotion code. The perfect combination to get clarity and release that brain fog. Dana, looks like you're done. Did a lot of work there, didn't you? But it was so quick.
Yes, well, that's the thing. I mean, we're doing a quick session on the show. Helene and I usually work 30 minutes or 45 or an hour, and if we're bringing other things into the whatever to the session, Helena hypnosis, I might be bringing in law of attraction and giving some training or tips on that. So this is just fairly a quick session. But I just wanted to add, Helena, I didn't hear everything that you said, but in terms of brain fog and the stress, I've had a fairly stressful week. Yes, I'll just leave it at that. And so I've been meditating longer, and
Mhm.
I've also been doing a full 30-minute yoga. I mean, I meditate and do yoga every day, but I picked yoga. I do it at my home and I have a DVD, but I picked ones that were just totally gentle and mostly about the breathing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? Because when we're in fear, even if you forget something and you go into fear, you're not breathing. And that's one of the biggest things, right? Just that's why you hear everybody say, just breathe, right? Because the breathing is so important. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So, Helena, do you want to see who's out there? And then I'm going to go ahead and let Chris know
Sure.
what things I came up for her. So the severity was a 9.
Hmm. So we
And
see, oh, yeah.
no, you go ahead.
Yeah, Natasha Paula Samuel is on the show as well. And let me see. Yeah, that looks good. I know that there's a few more people that watch the show. Actually, hundreds of people that watch our show after the fact.
Yes.
It's quite amazing. It's a great show to share. And yeah, and before we sign off, I want to share about the event I'm doing with Michael Ozier on Saturday. But Dana, please give us an update about Chris, what you found.
All right. So what I found for Chris, the trapped emotions that came out were creative insecurity. And I was given an age around 45, 46. She's 60 now. Shock, vulnerability, self-abuse. And I always tell people when I'm working with this, self-abuse doesn't necessarily have to be physical self-abuse. We do a lot of self-abuse with the mind, telling ourselves we're unworthy, we're not good enough, who do I think I am, all sorts of mind things. I'm too fat, I'm too thin, my hair's too short, my hair's too long, I married the right person, I married the wrong person, I should have got a cat instead of a dog, just whatever goes on and on and on, that sort of thing. Another trapped emotion that came up was low self-esteem, and the age of that one that got trapped was 55. Helena mentioned earlier that Dr. Brad says we have about 650 trapped emotions in our body. I mean, that is overwhelming when you think of it, but they get stacked up over life, and if we don't remove them, then they will just continue to, go from the size of that lemon to the size of a cantaloupe, and often result in more chronic pain for people. Another trapped emotion that came up that I released was pride, defensiveness, taken for granted, and failure. So none of those were inherited from mother or father or relatives, Chris. So let us know maybe in here how you feel. The severity that I'm getting is that we're down to a 1 or a 2 on that. So that should help clear up some of that brain fog. And certainly with the information that Helena gave you, that should be helpful as well for you. So Helena, tell us about, where people can find you. And also you've got a fabulous little event coming up. Not little,
I
event.
do.
Yeah.
It's actually going to be I believe it's going to be quite large. It's great. So you can find me at flourishhypnosis.com/emotion-code. There's all my information about the emotion code, how you can reach me. After last week's session, Dana, I did a emotion code with a lady in North Vancouver, and then a few days later, her sister in the UK. It was quite great. We're working with her on releasing excess weight through using the emotion code. It's very effective. I've had some good feedback from her already. And yeah, this event that I'm doing with Michael Lozier, Mr. Law of Attraction guy, the how-to guy, but he's also an emotion code practitioner and
Mhm.
loving it. We'll be in Duncan, BC, at the Community Farm Store on Saturday. We'll be doing two live presentations with live demos, 1 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. So
So
we're
March 31st.
March 31st,
Yep.
that's right. Yeah, and we'll be doing live demos on people with chronic pain, long-term, unexplained chronic pain. And our goal is to eliminate that in minutes. That's exciting.
Excellent. That's
Mhm.
very exciting. Yeah. So Helene and I have talked about doing a similar thing here in Vancouver. So I'll just say that we're in the process of finding a venue to do that, and also the right group of people that would be attracted to doing that. So I'll get to work with all my law of attraction stuff, and we will put that out there, and we will manifest that for the people that are interested and would like to see that.
Mhm.
So again, I'm Dana J. Smithers. I use the J because I had a new master numerologist suggested that I keep the J, start using it in my name. And you can find me at empoweredwomeninbusiness.com/emotion hyphen code. And if you don't already have a copy of my free ebook, The Power of Your Words, just go to my website, empoweredwomeninbusiness.com, and you can just sign up and get any notification about workshops I've been doing. I've been doing more this year than I have in past years. So I seem to be drawn to doing that. So I will continue to do that. So we're finishing March with was our menopause March menopause madness month, right? So we're finished with that. And the next one we're going to move into is business.
Mhm.
So you don't have to be actually an entrepreneur to, it's not about having your own business. You could be doing sales for a company. You could be involved with things where you have to do some writing and you've got some creative blocks, or you've just got abundance blocks, period, about the amount of money that you can bring into your life from your business or from your job that you're doing. And another one we'll be talking about will be procrastination.
Right. Yeah. And Dan, I just want to give you a shout out. You are my business coach, and um, the past year has been amazing. The transformation I've found personally, but also in my business. I actually have a business now. I had a hobby before, and but without the emotion code, I don't think I would be here. Um, you would assign me a task, or we would agree to a task, and I found myself procrastinating about things, or things like picking up my phone messages,
Yes, that was a
or
big one for
that was
you.
that
Yeah,
was a
avoiding
big
the
one.
phone. Yeah.
Yeah, I was terrified of the phone. Like someone's gonna call me and I'm gonna have to deliver something. Can I do it? I didn't even know what was going on. After that session where we worked on the phone, picking up the phone and being able to talk on the phone, returning a phone call, I answer my phone all the time when I can, and I'll return a call. Even if they didn't leave a message, I'll call them back, go, hey, I noticed a missed call from you. How can I help you?
Yeah.
So the emotion code in business, fantastic. And like you said, we do sessions in 30 minutes, 45, an hour, or even packages.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so check us out. And please, if you like the video, if you like the Emotion Code Divas show, let us know. We've been doing this since started in the background in January. We did some videos separate from the live show. So we really are kind of getting into our groove, and we're kind of, if you have any things that you want us to talk about, because again, we always offer an educational piece. Hopefully we inspire you, or you inspire us, or somebody gets inspired in the show and some sparks and creativity start to happen. And then we like to do a session with somebody. So Chris, again, you can let us know how you're feeling, maybe even over the next days, or if you come to the next show, that would just be absolutely fabulous. So that's it from the Emotion Code Divas.
Yes.
Next week will be very exciting. Next week is April. Yeah. So if you're celebrating Easter, in your culture or Passover, whatever you have up, have a happy one. No guarantees on the weather because I find that Easter, I believe weather-wise there is a collective consciousness about the weather. I think we
Yep.
get rain, just
Yep.
like, if you believe in Christianity, the crucifixion, and then we get days where the sun starts to shine. Pay attention to it. Maybe that's kind of what's going on in your life. It's definitely one of my favorite seasons, or holidays rather, of the year is Easter and little Easter bunnies coming on. Okay, all right, that's it before we get too silly. Or I'll just speak for myself there. Yeah. So please, if you enjoyed it, share it. We'd love to have more viewers. I think we get close to 200 views. Helena, once it's gone out for the week. So, we really want to get that up to 1,000 views because we feel that we've got something really powerful and good to offer. So that's it from now. So goodbye. Have a great weekend. And I
Goodbye.
will stop our recording. And I will